Hello, thank you for joining me. This is What I've Been Thinking. I'm your host, Marcus Cage. In this video, I guess we're going to talk about Kamala Harris just a little bit. Joe Biden has selected her as his vice presidential pick. And I guess it is what it is. That's what we'll talk about in this video. Thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully you enjoy. Thank you. First off, my thoughts on Kamala Harris being the VP selection. To those of you guys who are more familiar with my feelings towards Kamala Harris, I have deep problems with her record and her history. I was already upset with Joe Biden and not happy with him, and really not interested in voting for somebody who aligns so heavily with segregationists and who, through legislation, has done so much damage and impact to my community. Every time I was out there getting patted down by some cop or stopped or whatever, Joe Biden had a hand in that. And now that he washed himself in the blood of Obama, that's not good enough for me. So, having Joe Biden at the top of the ticket, with that history, was already problematic for one. But for two, when you flip it on the other side, and you know that he was completely in the pocket of the wealthier families of Delaware and the political dynasties and the credit card industries and all of those people. And it's like, Democrats throughout my lifetime, he's literally been like the worst as far as, being what I consider a Democrat. Short of him being pro-choice, that's pretty much the only area where I felt like, okay, you're a Democrat. And so, I wasn't a fan of Joe Biden. I still have a lot of anger, rage, and resentment towards him and Bill Clinton, for that matter, which I'm going to talk about in a later video. But when you add Kamala to the mix of this, what my feelings actually are is Kamala has that record. Some people will try to defend it, or they'll have a more maybe optimistic view on things and say, well, hey, that was just the time period and she had to do what she had to do, and now everything's going to be different. She has this policy about this, she has policy about that, and there are people who legitimately have a lot of faith and belief that it was circumstances, and once Kamala has the actual power to do what she wants to do, she'll be a lot more progressive minded, and they believe that she will shock progressives. I, on the other hand, massively disagree. And the reason why I disagree at this point now is because I look at staffing. When you're not in office and you're about to go in office or potential to go in office, I look at who are the people that you have around you as far as staff members. Most of Kamala's staff that she had during her presidential campaign was basically Hillary Clinton's foreign policy team. And there's tons of ties to the Clinton, I guess what would we call it, the Clinton part of the party, or Clinton power structure in politics. And that's That's everybody from former administration officials to people who went out into social media or who are on cable TV now that you don't realize that they might have had some position as like comptroller of whatever. And so there are tons of people we don't necessarily know that had ties to Obama administration, Clinton when she was, Madam Secretary. So we don't know exactly what we're getting by the pick of Kamala Harris. Also, looking at Joe Biden, I mean, this is my opinion, but looking at the things I've saw, I believe he has cognitive decline. And so I don't believe that he even necessarily made the pick himself. Probably weighed in on it, but I don't think he made the decision all himself. Just like I don't believe that Joe Biden in office will be making decisions solely on what he wants to do. I believe that there will be powers that be around him that will control that. I also believe that Kamala, once she takes over, which it can be right after the day of election, all the way up to like 3.5 years in or 2 years in, at some point, they're going to try to pass everything over to Kamala and let her, be the new standard bearer of the party. I believe if we do that and there is not a dramatic change in Kamala Harris's policy shifts, I think that you could see the real fulfillment of another party. I definitely believe that this election cycle has pushed a lot of Democrats or people that consider themselves Democrats out of the party. I know, like I talked about months back that I was a lifelong Democrat, and this election has made me say, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this party. I don't think that they can get anything done. I have no confidence in them. I've tried to have conversations with Republicans, but Republicans are virtually no better. They ignore tons of facts and data. So at the current time, in this political dynamic, I feel like, a man with no political country. And I'm pretty sure there might be others of you who feel that way also. The only thing that gives me comfort is knowing that as things progress, people are waking up more and more, and we actually have the ability to be able to make a change. Like I said again, I'm not thrilled about Joe Biden, and wasn't thrilled about Kamala Harris being the selection, but it is the selection. Some people will be happy over the top. Some people will be miserable if she gets in. I just feel her and Biden are just spot holders for, the ultra wealthy who just want to control everything. So I guess with that said, I will leave it there. And I got another video I'm working on. So see you guys on the next one. Thank you.